everybody. Welcome to QueenTitiLoves. Today we'll be talking with our recipient from last year, the wonderful Mekaila. Before I start with her, as normal, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share. So today we're going to talk to Mekaila and get some feedback about our program and what she enjoyed about the program, and if she has any tips or anything that she thinks that we should apply. And so I am not going to say anything else because I'm sure we have a lot to talk about, and I actually know all the answers. So I think that if I start talking, I might give some away. So I'm going to let Mekaila introduce herself and let her tell you what her major is and whatever she wants to tell about herself. She's very shy, so it probably won't be much, probably be a lot of questions, but I'm going to challenge her. I want her to tell us about herself.
Okay, well, hi everybody. My name is Mekaila. I'm 18 and I just graduated this year. So happy it happened. And right now, well, I'm gonna go to a JC, so I'm just gonna major in biology until I finally transfer to the college I do decide to go to, and then I would probably change my major to animal science.
Okay. And so, what did I tell you about saying just?
Oh, no, ever.
There is no just, right. So, Mekaila has made a decision. She was accepted to colleges, and by her choice, leading by her own leadership and by her own example, after talking with myself and talking with her parents and then weighing out her options, it was more feasible and it made a lot more sense for her to go to community college, where I also went, and now I hold a double master's. And then she is going to transition over into the college of her choice, as y'all young people say. So that is her plan, and that is what she's going to do. So nothing that she's doing is just like nothing that you will do will be just. How did you pick that major? What is it exactly that you want to do?
Well, I really want to do animal science, and I've been really thinking about this since I was little, because since I was about 6, I've always wanted to be a vet, so it just kind of stuck to me, and I realized that's the major I'm going to need in order to go to vet school and then later go into the career of being a veterinarian.
Okay. And what made you decide to sign up for the program? What was it about the program that attracted you to the program?
I feel like what attracted me the most is, I guess just the fact that it is just, I don't know how to explain it, but it was just something that interests me a lot, because it was something that my mom had continually talked to me about, and I was like, okay, well, when it happens, I want to do it. And the fact that I felt like you guys would really help me with my leadership, especially because I am very shy and introverted, that I felt like it would help me express myself more. And that's about it.
Okay, so what is it that, if you were going to tell somebody else about the program, because you have, how do you talk about it with them? What do you tell them when you're talking to them about the program? Because we know you're doing it, because you've already told me that you have people that are following your footsteps, and they are going to be applying to be in the program. So what would you tell them?
Usually I tell them that it's really like, it will really be helpful for you in the future, like to help you like get to the school you want to go to. They're very active, like they're very involved with your life and what you want to do, and also they're very easy to talk to, and they help you with a lot of things that you would have going on. It's very like, it's very organized, but also very, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
personable.
It's very safe for me. Yeah, it's very personal.
You said safe?
Yeah, it feels safe to me.
Wow, that's a huge compliment. That's a really good word. So thank you. So what about the program makes you feel safe? So when you meet with us or when you call me, what is it that made you feel safe and comfortable? Because you're not very outgoing. You're very introverted. What was the first time you were like, I think I'll be okay? Like, what is it that we did?
Well, when we first met, we kind of just set the ground rules, like not like ground rules, but like very like a ground understanding of where we both were at. Like you said that I can talk to you about anything, and it won't be on anything judgmental. It's more like I'm here when you need me. If you need somebody to talk to, then I'm here. And it just felt like I was very comforted by what you were saying to me and how you were telling me I had.
You're gonna make me cry. This is why I didn't want to do this interview. So let's see. Do you feel like, since you are no longer in high school and now you're supposed to be an adult, although you're not, the pepper spray's in the backseat of the car, I just need to bring it to you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we are still there for you in the same way now as when you were, well, you're still in the program, but as when you were in high school? Do you still feel like we're there for you the same way?
Oh yeah, all the time. Like I know that if I really feel like I have nobody to talk to, or I need like just another perspective on a decision that I feel like I want to make for myself, that I know that you'll always be there for me, especially in the times that I feel like aren't the best times, to, like in the day, to be there. But it's like you're very open.
Probably because I have insomnia, huh? So no matter what time you reach out, I'm available. I'm like, okay, I got you. Okay. And just so everybody else knows that this is a business, it's a nonprofit, we are growing. This is why when people tell you that something is coming out or something is starting, that you want to jump in at the beginning, because at the beginning it looks a lot different than as it grows. And so as it grows, I'm still going to be available. The board of directors are still going to be available. We'll have mentors assigned. All of those things will still be there, but the expectation is not that Asia will be there. So QueenTiti will not be available to everyone for the rest of the program. I will meet you all. I will interact with you all. You'll get your classes from me. All of those things will happen, but the 2 a.m. in the morning text, that type of thing, that is something that's very special, because she joined at the very beginning when it was new. And so it's just going to look just a little bit different. Our relationship is different. And so I've allowed her into that space. She's trusted me with that space. And so that's what that looks like. But it's not an overall expectation of the program. It looks different for everybody. So I just want to set that expectation. But I appreciate that that is something that she appreciates. I do. When you interact with us, are there any things that you feel like we dropped the ball on, or that we could do better on, as far as delivering or offering a broader package? Do you feel like there's anything that we are missing?
That's really hard, because I feel like you guys are missing everything. Like I said, when I do call any of you guys, well, for you example, because that's who I do call, like I usually call you. You are there for me. You are very available. You all are very available, and you guys are really there. Like when, I needed to do my resume, and you were there, because I did not know what to do. I just knew that I needed this, and you were like, okay, who's going to answer? Who do I know is going to be there when I need this now? Asia's going to be there. So it was like, this is very involved. Like, oh, what are you trying to do? Is this what you want to do? We can see if this can work out. Did you try looking this up and this and that? And it's just very, helpful. There's nothing I feel like you guys need to do.
Do you feel like we are, thank you, by the way, do you feel like we are too helpful in that we didn't allow you to learn and adjust on your own? Or do you feel like we gauged it correctly in being able to say when to give you answers and when to tell you how to find answers?
Well, I feel like there's too much help. Like, I don't ever see that as people just being just giving me what I want. It's more like you tell me how to find it, and then when I can't find what I'm looking for, you're also there as my backup. Like, okay, well, if you couldn't find it, then I got it. It's nothing like you guys are too helpful and too just giving. Okay. It's more like there for it, all of it.
Okay. Talk about your prom experience. How was the prom for you? So talk about that. What did that look like?
Oh, it was so fun. I loved it.
How was it choosing your dress? Let's start with your dress. How was it choosing your dress?
Oh, I've been doing that since sophomore year. I had a folder full of prom stuff, just like, okay, colors, styles, hair, nails. I had everything laid out. I was like, okay. But choosing like the one that I wanted was so hard because I tried to level out 3, but then 3 turned to 5, and 5 turned to 20. And it was so hard. But then I found the one that I wanted, and I knew that this is what I liked. I liked the way it was styled. I didn't like colors, but I liked style and just how and the sparkle and how it looked. And I knew that's what I wanted for myself.
Okay, so we are going to insert a picture of her dress right here or right here. We're never going to cover the crayon case, so we're going to put it right here. So we'll insert it right here so you can see her dress. Her dress was made by a designer in the city of Carson. I think it's in Carson, just outside of LA. Very wonderful lady. She will be tagged in the description box below as well. So if you are local and looking for a dress to be made, and she doesn't make just dresses. So I've seen her make pantsuits and all different types of things, but it's made literally custom to your body. She makes it really quickly. Her service it's amazing for me. It was absolutely amazing. From Divine Purpose, we can't thank her enough. Her name is Kasana. We can't thank her enough because we are in the beginning stages. It looks like we lost Mekaila, but she'll be back. Okay. We are in the beginning stages of our nonprofit. And so I don't know if anybody knows that, but we originally planned our annual fundraiser to align with when the prom would start for our participants. And so we did not meet the ticket sales. And so we had a decision to make on if we were going to move forward with the adult prom gala, which is for the adults, the community to come together and raise funds to fund the actual events that we do for our participants, or if we would pause it, come together as a board, utilize the money that we had already received, and use the money that actually came from our pockets to fund what Mekaila needed, because we are of our word and that was more important. And so what we did was we pulled a list of everybody that bought tickets and reached out to everybody to let them know what the dilemma was, because honesty and integrity is that's the only way. And so we asked them told them what the situation was, asked them if they would be okay with moving the date to another date for the adult prom gala so that we could focus on Mekaila. And hands down, everybody absolutely agreed. Everybody was okay with it. I offered extra things. Nobody even wanted the extra things. I allowed them to help me pick the date. And so from our participants to our supporters, we are 100% thankful, 100% involved. And so that is what we did. And so reaching out to Kasana after meeting with Mekaila and realizing we needed a custom made dress. We didn't want to do on the rack, so we really just wanted to go all out for Mekaila. I had to really step outside of my comfort zone, and I had to really lead in what I talk about. I reached out to Kasana and I told her about the program. I told her what the need was, and we talked, and a few meetings in, she let me know that she would be gifting the dress to the nonprofit on behalf of Mekaila, because she fell in love with Mekaila and the story, which was very true, because honesty is everything. And I think I needed an oxygen tank that day. It took me, I cried and cried and cried. I just couldn't believe it that somebody, right. I could not believe that. I didn't even know her yet. I met her because Mekaila liked the way she designed dresses. And so I had to I just had to reach out. And it was very difficult for me because, like Mekaila, I'm an introvert. I'm very nervous when it comes to things like that. So outside of HR, which is my profession, where it's personal, it's very difficult because it's emotional, right? So, but you have somebody that wants something and you really, really want to give it to them, you're going to do what it takes. And so I did. And I didn't expect that she would say she would gift the dress to us. I just thought she would maybe give us a little bit of a discount, and I didn't ask for anything. I just needed her to know who she was working with, because sometimes, you know, you charge based on who you're working with, especially when you're dealing with a nonprofit. So when she told us that, it took me a couple days, right? So I calmed down and I called Mekaila's mom, and I told her, and I was crying all over again. And then I was like, well, when are you going to tell her? And so I actually got to tell Mekaila. And so what was that call like for you?
I cried. I cried so hard. I was so happy because my mom was like, we don't know how much it is yet, and we know how much she charges this big.
Right.
I was like, do I even want this anymore?
Right. I was so nervous. Oh my God, I was nervous.
Oh, I'm not ready. I got that call, and I was like, I just didn't even know what to say. I was speechless, and then I cried.
Right. We kept trying to plan it, but we were like, I was like, Irma, where is she? And she was like, oh, she went with her friends. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can't take this anymore. And you were talking to me on the side and showing me all this stuff. And I'm like, I can't wait to just tell her. And then finally she was like, okay, she's here. Go call her. I'm going to go in there. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And I'm like, was she around her friends? I'm like, we don't want to make her cry about her friends. She was like, girl, I don't care. We telling her. So we told you. And I was just so super excited to deliver that information, because not that, you know, your parents are doing very well for themselves, you know, very well for themselves. They've been together since high school, beautiful 2 little girls, but that doesn't take away from the fact that when I utilize the word underrepresented and things like that, it's because my husband and I, we both are okay. But when you have children and you have a house and one kid is in dance and one kid is a senior, and you know, expenses can get expensive, especially when you have really good kids that don't even ask for anything. So then when they ask for something, you just want to make it happen. And so I totally get that. And so when I tell people to apply for the program, I'm not saying apply because you're broke. None of us are broke. But what I'm saying is, if we can come together as a village and make it happen, you know, Cassandra's dresses start at a lot of money. She's not a regular designer. She's a real designer. And so to make that happen, it was a blessing to be able to do something like that. And so telling Mekaila and taking that off of their plate, it was amazing. It was amazing to be able to take that off of their plate. A lot of prayer. I can't even tell y'all how I was praying before I made that call. Like, what if she gets mad? You just, the same feelings that you guys have as youth, we have as adults, only it's a little bit different. So I've always been like Mekaila a little bit. So always very aware of my surroundings, aware of, you know, my parents, and not asking for certain things. You know, the things that kids do when they worry and they shouldn't be. I was the same way. So I know that when she was looking at stuff, she would kind of, you know how kids do, they kind of look like, should I ask for that? And I kind of had to pull it out of her, like, I need you to tell me, if this day could be exactly the way that you wanted it, what would you want? Because when she was giving me answers at first, they were very, I don't want to say diluted, but they were diluted, and I could relate to that. And so it took a minute, but then she let her guard down and whipped out that dress. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, okay, all right, we're about to make this happen. So I'm really grateful that it did happen. And so how did you feel on your prom day? Did you think that we would all come?
Oh, I was surprised. I was like, there's one, and there's another. Oh, you're all here.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a different feeling. Like, I was just like, okay, I was under the impression, like, way before I decided to be a part of the program, I was like, okay, my mom is going to be there. And then I was like, okay, my mom's going to be there, and then we're going to switch off. My grandma's going to be there, and, like, my aunts will show up, okay, and then they're going to switch off again. Like, I didn't expect so many people to be there before just to watch the whole process of it all. But it was just like a wow experience for me, because I was waiting for this for so long.
So you had a whole glam squad. You had a makeup artist, you had your nails done at home. That was also gifted from Divine Purpose. And you had your custom made dress, and you had a photographer, right? Your mom, you had a photographer?
Yeah.
You had a photographer. They did the whole red carpet. It was really nice. But what I really liked about that day is that for me on that day, when I looked around, ironically, a lot of people was around that I knew. And I knew that having a nonprofit in the same community that I grew up in, it would, of course, we would run and intertwine and all of those things. But just on that day, to see the women in that room that were supporting you, and to know all of our stories and where we came from too, and to know that when prom came for us, two of us didn't go at all. Michelle and I didn't go at all. And then I believe Portia did go, but just to know it didn't look like yours did. So I went to prom weekend, but it didn't look like yours did. And so when you're your age and you're thinking about things like, oh man, I wish I had that, or I wish someone would do this for me, because we're going to make mistakes. We're not going to give you everything that you need unless you tell us, and you're pretty good about that. But think about those things when it comes time for you to reach out and help somebody, because all of those things are really important. All of us, for me, that day was really, really special, because it's so important to reach back. It's so important. You don't have to start a whole nonprofit, but similar to you sharing the program with someone else who's coming up after you, and you're letting them know about the program, and you're holding her hand through the process. Those things they mean so much to the person that's receiving it. And then for the person that's giving it, which will now be you, that feels amazing. So I didn't cry until I left. But as soon as I got in the car, I cried. It was a whole wrap. Oh, I cried. I cried like a baby, because it just reminded me of how I felt when it was my turn and I couldn't go. Well, I could, but my mom was a single mom. And so I didn't want her to spend that type of money. And so I, like you, was like, oh, I don't care. I did care, but I was like, I made myself not care, because I was thinking to myself, I'm already a cheerleader, prom, graduation, college, it's too much, you know? So I went ahead and let that one go. But it just fulfilled that space for me. And so that's what a lot of me starting this was, just to get people to their prom. That's it. And from there, it has grown, because the community has said, well, Asia, you know how to do this. Why don't you teach them this? Asia, you know how to do that. Why don't you teach them that? You work in HR. Why don't you teach them everything you know, so they can be leaders? So you won't have the headache people coming in your office anymore. You know, they'll be good leaders and good communicators. Communication. How do you feel like you communicate now versus when you started?
Oh, way better. I'm still gonna just stutter. I always do that, but no, I feel like my communication with others have gotten very good, because usually I would just be like, okay, I'm just gonna let them do what they want to do. I already tried it, but I didn't really press what I was saying. But now I'm really putting all my weight in when I really mean something, and when I really saying it with like my heart.
Good girl. Good girl. Because on day one, remember, you told me you wasn't getting behind no camera.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Because remember, we talked about it, because I already had the vision for the YouTube channel in my head back then. God already told me to do it then. And remember, what did I do? I sat down at the table and I told you, you're going to grow me. And so I'm probably going to cry. I'm just going to cry, because I already know I am. So for me, when I started and I finally sat behind this camera, it was amazing, because I made a promise to you on that day. And I'm so proud of you.
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm just really proud of you, because the little girl that I saw sitting at that table was me. And the little girl that I see today is the Asia of today. And that was my goal for you, because never should you allow someone to make you feel like you can't express how you feel or say what you need to say, because everything that everybody has to say is important, right? So that's what I've always taught you. You know, when you're talking to people, you talk to them respectfully, but that doesn't mean that you don't address what you need and you don't address what's important to you. Because if I tell you, Mekaila, I don't understand why you are so upset that I brought you red Kool-Aid instead of, did I say Kool-Aid? I don't even drink Kool-Aid. I don't understand why you're so upset that I brought you red Kool-Aid instead of blue Kool-Aid. That's not for me to understand. What's for me to do is to respect the fact that you have a problem with one versus another. And people don't respect those boundaries because we don't set them up. And a lot of it is, you know, you kind of thinking it's not that big of a deal. I don't really care. I'm going to let it go. But then as it goes, the person kind of pushes a little more, pushes a little more. And that's what I didn't want to happen for you. And so when you've called me and told me about different things, I've been really proud of the way that you've handled it and been okay with saying, no, that isn't for me. Or no, I'm standing my ground, you know? And so I'm really proud of you. That's amazing. Now I might let you go outside by yourself. We are waiting for Mekaila to come back on and then we will resume. I'm way too emotional. This nonprofit to me is everything. It really is. I'm grateful for the lives that I will touch. I'm grateful for God birthing this vision in me and for me being courageous enough to take it. Um, it's beautiful. I like to say we'll be bigger than Girl Scouts one day, and I know that we will. Hello.
I had to move. My phone died. It did a lot. My bad.
Why did that happen? That happened to me earlier when I was recording. So, you guys, we are back. Little technical difficulty there. No problem. Um, let's see. So we've asked you about the program. What is the most resourceful tool that you've had from the program? So out of all the categories, like, well, we know communication is one, but as far as school, what's been the one that you've implemented the most in school and choices with school?
What did you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry, it's broken it out.
That's okay. I said as far as the program goes with school, what do you feel is the most, what have you learned the most and applied it towards education?
I guess my time management, setting us up myself a schedule. Like,
Okay.
because when our whole prom thing, it was more like I had to make sure I was open to like when we were gonna do it and what times and having it set in my calendar, which I never use.
Oh.
And my my dedication to it all, and more like in my organization.
Okay. Okay. And how do you feel like that is going to translate into becoming a young adult out on your own?
I
Well,
just
not
feel like
out
it would
on
help.
your own.
I feel like it would just help me because, well, it would help me more in my my mental state, because I feel like if I don't have any organization now, like since I'm so used to having everything in a set spot, it's just gonna make me feel like I'm not where I'm usually at. Like I'll just feel off.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. If there's anything that you could tell somebody that wants to apply, or anybody, if there's anything that you want to tell the world about the program or about yourself, what would you tell them?
Well, about the program, really, I would just say that it's really worth it. Like just how much I learned from you guys and how much you guys helped me with myself, with my self-esteem and my communication, and how I view myself and how I handle situations around me. Like I just feel like that was like the really most important thing that I learned from the program, and that I want everybody else to learn. And then about myself, I don't know. I don't think.
What do you think? I told you that you should walk around like the theme music on for you all the time. So that's a good one. No, that's a good one. That's what I want to know. So when you walk in a room and you think you popping, you popping, what song is playing in your head? Because TT told you to play a song in your head. What's the song that's playing in your head?
Oh. Crazy in Love. About Beyonce.
I love it. My song is a Beyonce song too. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview because I know that you're really, really, well, no, you're not anymore. You're not really shy, but this is still a huge step. And I think that we'll do another one after your first semester of college. I think we'll do another one so we can show everybody your progress, and then you'll be the poster child. What's your name? What do we call you that nobody else can have?
Me. I'm sorry, that was my friend.
That's okay.
I don't know. I forgot. Oh my God.
What do we call you? I mean, we could give the name away if you don't remember.
I really don't remember.
We don't.
So many. I have so many names.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It'll come back. I swear it will come. It will come.
We don't call you the Divine Doll.
Oh my God, you do. I'm so sorry. I forgot. I'm so upset that I forgot that too. It's been so long because I know you text every time you text me in the morning, or like anytime you text me, you'll be like, "Hi, my Divine Doll," and I'm like, "Oh, I love it." I forgot.
No, it's okay because I call you about 3 other names, so no, it's okay. I just wanted to make you giggle on camera so you don't look so serious. Tell your friend we said hi. Does she want to say hi?
Yeah,
tell her it might go viral.
She doesn't want to say hi, but she said hi, but she doesn't want to come to the camera.
Okay. Well, you guys have fun, and I will talk to you later. And thank you so much for joining.
It's not a problem. I'll do it again.
Thank you, hon. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us because it was me and Mekaila, but thank you for joining today. It was really nice to finally do this piece and speak with Mekaila. I wasn't ready yet, and so I needed to get prepared, and the same thing ended up happening. I still ended up crying, but at least I didn't cry the whole thing, y'all. I'm a big old crybaby. When I tell y'all that there's so many things that I've been through, there's so many things that tug at my heart because other people that I know have been through it, that my passion for people is real. So I know that, and not to be confused with the fact that I do legit have a short fuse if you don't follow directions. So I don't want you to put yourself in harm's way. I don't want any of those things. But when that has nothing to do with my passion for people and for wanting people to be okay and wanting people to be happy and wanting to create experiences and wanting to share the education that I have, because my path to getting my double masters, it was really hard. And I know that some people have it more hard, so I try not to even say that because some people have it worse. And so, but for me, it was difficult. I did make a lot of sacrifices. I did pay for it 100% on my own. And if I can create a space where maybe somebody didn't even want to go to college and they want to be an entrepreneur, and I could just help them get straight there, or if somebody wants to know what direction they're taking, then I can get them there. If somebody wants to pursue their dreams and start using makeup, as an example, because that's what I'm doing, I think that people should follow their dreams and do what really is on their heart, because in the end, you only get one life. One, that's it. And yes, indeed, you can make mistakes, but don't make intentional mistakes. If you can make mistakes that you learn from because you actually stepped out on faith and you tried, that's different than a mistake that you're walking into and somebody could have helped you. So if I could be that somebody, if anybody in my program could be that somebody, if anybody that is volunteering, anybody that I'm going to interview that's going to share their stories, if they touch and help just a handful of people, that's good enough for me because life is too short for it to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. It's going to be hard work, but hard work and hard are two different things. And so I feel like in creating Divine Purpose, it is to initially was to reach out and save my community. But the more that I saw that, my following on Instagram is not just from my own area, other people are interested. It really pushed me to get onto social media and to give the knowledge that I have from here. And I'm working on a complete package that will include online learning and so many tools and resources. But if I can do it, why not? Everybody should try their best to do their part to make the world better. Since we all want a better world, I think that if everybody did a little piece, and I'll say it time and time again, I think that we could be in a much better place. I think that if adults, young adults, I'm a middle adults, elders, if we just shared a little bit of what we went through to get where we are, how we made certain decisions, and share real things that we went through, and how we made real mistakes, and how we should have done this or should have done that, I think that younger people would listen more, because I know that I did. I listened more to people that were honest with me, that didn't make it seem like don't do this or don't do that. They literally shared their stories with me, and I was able to connect to them because they talked about how they felt or something while they were making the decision, and it allowed me to connect. If you don't connect to people, it's more than likely going to go over their head, because they'll either feel like you're judging them or you're not, you don't understand. And so I don't want any youth that hear me to ever feel like I don't understand, because I do. It's a lot of things that I haven't done because I knew better, but I still have that decision to make. And if I could share and be honest, instead of being like, oh, I never been through that. You have been through it. You just went through it a different way. And share that. Share the feelings that you have. Share the thought process. Share the resources. Share whatever you have. If we could share more, not your own private and protected information. I get that. Everybody should share to the best of their ability. But at least if you're going to talk about something, give the full picture. Don't just give a little piece, because real reality, transparency, honesty, all of those things are what translate into changing the world, right? So I'm an example of change. I broke a lot of generational don'ts, because I won't say curses. We didn't have curses, but a lot of generational don'ts have. And I've broken those. And so I feel really good about that, but it wasn't easy. So if I could help somebody else do it and make it a little bit easier, I'm all for it. Thank you for joining today. If I owe you a box of Kleenex, I'm sorry. You can go to the 99-cent store. They have them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with everybody you can think of. If you are an adult watching and you can think of any youth that would benefit from hearing any of these topics, please pass this on to them. This information that I'm giving is directly it's for everybody, but I really want the youth to be able to benefit from this more. Our application is out to join the Divine Purpose program, and we do have virtual opportunities. The information or the links to the website is in the description box below. And that is it. Thank you so much for all of your support and everything that you do, and all of your prayers. PRAY.